happy that that whole seeding thing now is.
Yeah, I mean, there's always so much speculation in the women's game with the host sites, and obviously conference tournaments are played out, and some are done in a week in advance of others, so it makes it a little bit interesting dynamic. But really, that home seed or home sites usually, make you a little bit nervous if you're not one of the ones hosting. So, I felt good about the way we finished and how hard we fought, and feel good that we have an opportunity. We're going back to a place we were exactly 1 year ago, so we're familiar with where we're going.
And there's no doubt in your mind that this team at least deserved a number 5 seed.
Well, I definitely felt like, we should be somewhere, around a 6. I mean, I just think when you just look at the basic numbers of it, some of the teams that we beat, we did not have a bad loss this year. Had some key wins, especially late. The way we finished, I thought we finished strong, and we did a lot of things, endured a lot of things over time that I felt should be rewarded. But again, you just don't always know what goes on in the room.
There seemed to be a buzz and excitement that we just didn't really see from the men yesterday. Was that a pleasant surprise to get the 5, and were you happy to see your players' reaction to that?
I talked to quite a bit of them, obviously, and we were preparing a little bit because you just don't know, and they're just a little bit more of a novice at the women's game because they're only here for a short period of time, many of them, and I think just preparing them for understanding maybe what a procedural bump is, and that there's rules and things that certain teams can't meet until Elite Eight, certain conferences. So to educate them a little bit with what could happen, I think was the biggest thing. And they certainly were proud of their accomplishments this season, but they're not done, and they're ready to move forward.
How about, I know it's been a while since you played that Big Ten tournament, but is there a carryover effect from that event that you can really roll into this next game with Marist?
I hope so. I think that the biggest thing for us is we need to do a good job night in and night out defensively. I mean, that's kind of what we've laid our hat on a little bit, where maybe sometimes our offense hasn't been there, our defense has helped us get through sometimes, and when it hasn't been there, obviously we haven't performed very well. So for us, everything kind of starts with defense and rebounding, and I think that's the one thing they got out of that tournament in 3 games. It was there twice. It wasn't there the third night, and we suffered.
We were just testing each other on our Marist knowledge. What do you know off the top of your head?
I know a lot about Marist.
Really?
Yes, and I know it doesn't sound like a team that in women's basketball runs in circles, but Brian's an incredible coach, and they have been NCAA slayers for many years, and coming up the way I came up, they're of the likes of the Wisconsin Green Bays and teams like that. I mean, they are a very, very good team, shoot a lot of threes. They have 4 seniors, 2 of them are redshirt seniors. They're extremely well coached, and they play a style that's very difficult to defend.
How do you know so much about them?
I've watched them for a long time. I mean, Brian and I, I came up through mid-major kind of ranks as well, and really admired the job he's done there, and then watched him play in the NCAA tournaments. And then we were in, was it the Bahamas when they were in there? We didn't play them, but they were down there, and I watched them too and got to know him even better there. So, I mean, he knows his stuff. I mean, he's a very, very good coach, and they have a system and a style in which they play that's very effective. It's challenging to guard. It's much like, in a lot of ways, maybe some of the things that Kevin used to do at Michigan when Kevin was at Michigan and at Green Bay, like that motion type. Everybody could shoot it, pass it, handle it, post, makes it difficult.